Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. Today we're here with our friend Trader Cobb and we are going to discuss what's going on with Bitcoin. Are we going up? Are we going down? What's been happening lately? Is it the bottom? All the good stuff. So how have you been, mate, and what are you seeing on the charts?
Madam, well, thanks. Thanks for having me. Good to be back. Do you want me to jump across to the charts, or do you want to have a chat first, or what's the plan?
Bring it up, mate.
Right, let's do that. Right, here we go. Share the screen. Make it that one. Boom, boom,
My new
boom.
background's not finished yet, so it's better we have the charts up.
Yeah. All right. Can you see that now? I think
Yeah,
you can.
yeah.
All right. So, look, I guess my point of view is most people that have watched or listened to anything that I do, I trade trends. Right now, what we've got, and I talk about this cradle zone, right? We've pulled back up into that cradle zone. The whole point of us talking about this right now, Alex, and what I've been saying is don't be fooled by this green candle. It's just one candle. The overwhelming majority is selling to the downside. And if we look at the weekly here, I've drawn this level in. There's an old level of support and resistance. Now, that's at 3,000. When you look at this weekly chart, there's literally nothing there to hold the price where it is. Now, that's not to say it won't bounce from there, not at all. But there's room to get to 3,000. So when I look at this now, in that cradle zone, there's no trade for me on the daily because there's no small bearish candle. But what I do see is a low, it's like a support level here because test one, test two. Yes, it's broken down a little bit. I refer to that as a B stick break because it's, how big is a B stick? Pretty small. So that's okay. I'll just trade as it breaks below that. I need to see a third test. But if it continues to move into this level, give me a third test with a lower high, then that for me is going to offer me an opportunity to short. My overwhelming position right now across the market is to be hunting short trades. That's my stance at the minute.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that. So I put out a couple of polls. One of them's very 50-50 because we are in between 4 hour support, as I'll bring up my 4 hour chart here, back into the moving averages or the kind of cradle you refer to. But if we flick to the daily, we've kind of come up and just touched that, and that's overhead resistance. So we're right in between those two levels. In terms of sentiment, we've got a lot of people talking about shorting. And overwhelmingly in our group, everyone was bearish and wanting to short. Very few people are bullish for the first time, I think, this year, where all those polls are given up hope and everyone's talking about going to 1,300 or we're definitely going to 3,000. And I know we've had that one daily candle and a few people got a bit excited, but I think overall sentiment and retail sentiment, I have to say, is still pretty terrible. So, yeah, there's definitely arguments for both.
Yeah, look, but there should be. There needs to be, and that's the whole idea. Is that I do what I do, they do what they do. We got slightly different styles as well. I think that the thing that people need to be aware of. Look, there's more than one way to trade. I'm not the only one making money out there. You need to be aware of all scenarios. Now, for me, I'll jump back to the chart again and just show you an example of something that for me, when I look at this, I think, okay, look. If I get short, right, let's say I find a short here and it moves down to here. Let's say it hits 4,000 and then I get stopped out. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely fine to have that there. I've had a good month. And it's not just even about having a good month because I'm not going to risk money that I've made for the sake of risking money, right? It's just that this is overwhelmingly down. Now, if it does turn reverse and stop me out, that's okay because I'll manage my risk. Now, I made that mistake. I always talk about trade what you see, not what you think. Way back here in June, we saw this pullback. What was it? I was short Bitcoin Cash from up here, not Bitcoin. I took Bitcoin Cash, and I'd done very well. I didn't take a trade here because I just didn't find an entry. But there was this little bearish candle here, really tight stop loss, really tight. I didn't take this because I thought, I think I might actually do a high. I thought. Now, I missed out on an opportunity there, and that was the move down to the new annual lows, and from there we saw a higher low, and this is where I'm copying a lot of flack at the moment because at this point I said, yep, I am bullish Bitcoin. The reason being because it went into an uptrend. All right. So for me, I don't want to miss this opportunity again. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to see the same thing over here. Come on. But I am saying if I do get an entry and I do take this trade, I will scale out one to minimize my risk. And if it does turn against me, I don't care. I'm going to trade what I see, not what I think.
You're right.
And focus on that.
I'll just bring up on my end now the longs versus the shorts. So this is interesting after what we've just spoken about, that the number of longs is actually, reasonably high historically, up there at around 28,000. But the shorts I've already got those overlaid in the background, but I'll bring them up by themselves there. As you see, they're actually right within striking distance of all-time highs, around 36,000. So, look, I think you're pretty ballsy to be shorting one of the most volatile assets in the world when it's already down over 80%. And in these type of markets, we can see those big long wicks or the Bart Simpson patterns where the guys on BitMEX or the whales on Bitfinex, they want to shake out these retail investors that are all long and all short. So it wouldn't surprise me to see one of those big moves. But I think it's a good time to be on the sidelines, I think.
Oh, look, I'm with you. I am currently. Let me just think this through. I'm pretty sure I'm flat. I didn't raise any orders. Yeah, I was flat yesterday. I'm flat today. I haven't raised any orders. I am flat, but I am in the position more so to sort of look at it and go, well, if I was to trade across the top 10 for the most part, then they're setting up for shorts. If I'm going to be trading, I'm going to be short. Now, one of the other things to bring to everyone's attention is the way that I'll use BitMEX. So I do like BitMEX. I don't have a problem with BitMEX, but with BitMEX, I'm not going to sit all my Bitcoin on BitMEX. Let's say I want to take a decent size short and get myself a 1% position. Let's say I stick 4 Bitcoin onto BitMEX. That's all. Now, if you've read the terms and conditions of BitMEX, and if you haven't, I suggest you do, they can only take what's in there. Whereas if I'm trading on IG markets, for example, I can go into negative equity, which means that whatever I put on BitMEX, they can do what they want. And all I'm going to lose is my 4 Bitcoin or however much you put on there. So you got to manage your risk in so many more ways than just the stopping the entry.
Yeah. And finally, for the guys that aren't traders out there, if you've been patient and dollar cost averaging, what a time to buy some of these coins down over 95% now if they're good projects that you believe in. But again, I wouldn't be deploying everything in. We do have that possibility of going lower. And if Bitcoin was to go down to 3,000 or 1,000, then hey, those altcoins are going to be a lot cheaper again.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, but let me show you just real quickly across the, I just want to share this to just give you that perspective right now across the top 10. I'll be very fast. Back in the cradle zone on Bitcoin. Ethereum's actually already moved a little bit. Bitcoin Cash I don't really care about. EOS has already moved lower. Cardano's right smack bang in there. Stellar Lumens also in that area. Neo again in there. IOTA sitting in there as well. Ripple in there, and Litecoin also in there.
Can you just check OMG for me as well? That's one that I'm really watching carefully with the fundamentals. Fundamentals and technicals starting to align.
So you're not going to like me on this one. This is one that's, see how it's got the little red flag here?
Looking weaker.
That is in my list currently. Here it is, look.
That's interesting. And what is that relative to that makes it in that list? Is that the previous few weeks action or few days?
It's a trend. So for me, I did the scan each day with my members and I just red list them. So this is my watch list currently, looking at the markets that I like to check to see if there's any opportunities available. Like, for example, IOTA Bitcoin starting to get a flat level forming. It's not there yet. NEM, if we look at this is on the Bittrex chart, which looks glorious. The Binance one, not so good. Beautiful bullish candle on a fib level looking for a move higher. So it's a list for me to continue to consider throughout the day and to make decisions as and when they set up. So for me, OMG, because of the 16, was it? The 16 hour, it's back in that cradle zone, small bearish candle. I want to see it a little bit more bearish than that, to be honest. But it's got that nice trend. So I am considering that.
This is one of the reasons I actually like it. I'm leaning towards it if we get the bullish breakout to play it, because look at it since the 15th of the month, 15th of October, it was over $3 and it's lost 50% in a month. It's been one of the worst performers as everything's really fallen off the cliff. So that's why I'm getting a contrarian hat on for longer term or for a swing trade if we get a breakout.
And how's the breakout? Like a perfect level there, bam, straight through, off she goes, runs like a demon. Yep. So, yeah, it's on the list for me to short if I get the opportunity. It's not good enough just yet. The next candle may change my mind, but it's in a downtrend, and if it's in a downtrend, this guy looks for shorts.
Fantastic. Well, that's what makes a market, guys. There's a buyer and a seller at every price. So thanks for tuning in, Craig, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Cheers.